Warrior, this is serious stuff. I want to give you an update on yesterday's hearing on Capitol Hill. What occurred when the House decided we are going to lump 19 pieces of child legislation into one package. And that includes our beloved KOSA, Kids Online Safety Act. So unfair, because this piece of legislation that we have been working on for 4+ years deserves its own hearing, its own vote. But let's go back. Let me review with you what happened yesterday, because it affects each and every one of us, because we either have children, we have grandchildren, we know somebody with children, friends, family. Let me tell you how sneaky the House is trying to be. Couple of facets here. But first, remember to please subscribe to our videos. We really are fighting the algorithms to get ahead on that super highway that is called the internet, because our goal is not fame and fortune. Yeah, that sounds wacky, but our goal is getting information out to you that you most likely are not hearing in other places. Now, let's talk about, you've been a follower of the Warriors. I've been talking relentlessly about KOSA, Kids Online Safety Act. What it's that big tech platforms themselves have a responsibility. They must take responsibility. If they're putting out a product and they know it is harmful to children, they must bear the responsibility. It's called duty of care. Now, we know they're putting out a product harmful to children because we have plenty of whistleblowers that have come forward, and we have some studies and stats that are telling us exactly internal memos and things of the like. But the whistleblowers alone, where they tried to sound the alarm, but they were told, shh, and eventually either let go from their jobs or quit because they couldn't stand to go there where they knew they were helping to harm children. So in Kids Online Safety Act, there was a duty of care. Okay, big tech is going to hold some responsibility because right now there are no regulations, no guardrails, only business, I will remind you, that has no kind of regulations. It's crazy, especially since the internet was basically born in 1996. So we're talking almost 30 years now. And we know the harms to children. We know. Okay, so duty of care. So what happened? KOSA, incredible, in the Senate over a year ago, 91-3 passed. Then it goes on to the House. I mean, this is the process. And the House let it sit and collect dust as we forced, as we advocated for, as we brought the brave parents whose children have suffered, have killed themselves even because of online harms, whether it's extortion, cyberbullying, all of that, eating disorders. Incredible. Testified in front of Congress several times, holding the pictures of their children, wearing them on a shirt, wearing them on a button, talking directly to CEOs of these big tech companies, such as Mark Zuckerberg from Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram, speaking directly to members of Congress. So let me tell you what was the good news about yesterday. So what happened is, let me go back a bit. Right before Thanksgiving last week, as we've been pushing, bring KOSA to a vote. Bring KOSA. All you have to do now is put it on the schedule, Mr. Mike Johnson, Speaker Mike Johnson, and vote on it. And because we had such success in the Senate, it's a no-brainer. Who wouldn't want to keep their kids safe online? And you know what? We thought it would be pretty easy in the House. Well, guess what? We were wrong. Stall. So right before Thanksgiving, they threw this out there that they would be having a hearing, which was yesterday, and they would lump KOSA, Kids Online Safety Act, along with 18 other bills, a total of 19 bills. And they were also doing it on a Tuesday, 10:15 a.m. in the morning. Bear in mind, people didn't have a chance to review 19 bills, do some research, deep dive, as they say today. People were still traveling back from the Thanksgiving long holiday. And, that tactic of, it used to be, we'll put the news, the headline out there, late on a Friday night or Saturday morning when nobody's paying attention. With the internet, they're following, I believe, that pattern. But with the internet, there's no such thing as, news isn't going to spread a certain time of day. It's 24/7, 365. So they threw this out there. The hearing was 10:15 yesterday. It lasted about 3 hours. There was testimony from Congress members, testimony from parents, psychologists, those in the tech business, both Republican and Democrat, completely bipartisan, as are all these child safety issues and pieces of legislation. And there was one consensus I picked up from all of this. They both don't want what the House proposed for Kids Online Safety Act, which is taking out that duty of care. that I just explained is the one thing that would finally hold big tech accountable for the harms caused to children. They took it out. So it's a watered down bill. What good is the bill? Okay? And unbelievable. Okay, we forged forward. So both sides agreed as they were talking, and they had their 5 minutes here and there, and they're yielding to this one and yielding to that one. Both sides agreed. Harmful to children. Harmful to children. And there's been so many misconceptions, two big misconceptions with the Kids Online Safety Act. If you are to Google it or do some research, because the big tech people have a lot of money, so they can afford a lot of PR. They can rise to the top when you look up Kids Online Safety Act. Here are the two misconceptions I want you to know about. Number one, that this Kids Online Safety Act would prevent the LGBTQIA plus community for searching for information. In other words, censorship. Absolute lie, is not the truth at all. You can search for anything you want. You just will not be fed those dangerous algorithms that we have the studies and we have the whistleblowers and we know of the addictive qualities. So again, big tech is doing this. Why, you ask? To keep the eyeballs on, to keep the children especially addicted, because then they'll be addicted for life, to keep it moving, marketing, money. So that's a misconception. You can search for anything you want, whatever horrible thing you may, whatever, and it just won't feed you the horror. And, there's also this always, the argument always is, well, our trans kids, it may be the only place they can look up information. They don't have a trusted adult, anybody to go to, and they'll be prohibited. I just explained to you, they will not be prohibited from anything. You can look up anything you want. You just won't be fed. For instance, we don't talk enough about the eating disorders. That's a big part of the internet, believe it or not. Mostly for girls and teens and young women. Boys are being affected now by it too. But for instance, as an example, a girl can be searching for apple. And by her third click or so, it's being suggested how you can survive on half an apple a day. Eating disorders, they're promoting it. And, the young undeveloped mind, this, swiping and looking and everything online. Remember, online is fake, even for the adults. Everything looks glossy and great and beautiful, i.e. filters, i.e. no, you don't live in that mansion, celebrity, i.e. you don't drive that car, you're just standing in front of it. So we have to tell kids it's all fake online, pretty much. It's not real, but kids compare themselves. Think about what adults do. So the young minds comparing, why don't I have that handbag like Kylie Jenner? Why don't I have that boyfriend like Kendall Jenner? Whatever the story is. And so again, community, but again, we're talking about, servicing, and they do this a lot. They twist up the words. And by the way, the 19 child safety legislation, they all have great names, Sammy's Law and the Secure Act, and you would say if you didn't know about them, like, oh, these sounds great. Of course I'm going to vote for these. They sound, the names always sound good, right? No Child Left Behind. And you can search for anything you want. It just won't feed you dangerous content. I think we can all agree on that. And so there is no censorship per se, as it's said. But removing this duty of care, which that House, just snuck in, it's a watered down bill. We want, and we are urging our representatives, and we're working very hard, we didn't give up on this, that you bring back KOSA to the Senate version with the duty of care. We need that in there, okay? That is what is holding the bill up. Nothing else pretty much matters about that. Now, what's going on now? So after the 3-hour hearing, both sides saying, danger, 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 they have 10 days to respond, ask questions, mark it up, as they say, and then go to a vote. That brings us almost into Christmas, right? Rushing. So we've got a short window. Everybody's busy, right? The month of December with the holidays, getting ready and shopping and cooking and traveling and kids and grandkids. And what a sneaky job they did to do this, watered down. The other good piece of news is we were hearing, because the Warriors were part of, our resources, part of a coalition of people across the United States that know what's going on. And we have our group calls, group chats, whatever you like to call it. But we were hearing, and also somebody leaked a version of it that President Trump was going to sign. This was about a week ago, an executive order, an EO, as they call it in Washington, that they were going to put the Kids Online Safety Act, they were going to put in an executive order for the National Defense Authorization Act, NDAA, that executive order, I'm going to keep saying that so you get used to this, AI cannot be AI cannot be regulated at all. It's a runaway train. They want that. This administration is tech bro heavy. That's the lingo I'm hearing, around. They're at the table with tech. So why would they want to do anything to protect? It hurts me to say this. Put any guardrails, stop signs in front of big tech, hold them responsible. This is the way I'm looking at it at the Warriors. But what happened is there was such backlash when that leaked version of what President Trump may have signed, that it was announced yesterday, Steve Scalise, we're going to back off of that one. We're not going to. I think it can be put somewhere else better. So they're still looking to how they can get away with having no regulation on AI, artificial intelligence. This is the new frontier. It's hard to say this, but it's not everything in the past about online safety. It is AI, the artificial intelligence. That is the dominant. That is what is wanted. That will change everything, right? And so for now, we have to be vigilant. For now, we have to urge. As a matter of fact, I have 2 meetings tomorrow on the Hill about this subject, urging those representatives why we need to have the Senate version, duty of care, right? At minimal, holding big tech responsible. If you see something, take it down. If you hear something, take it down. Call that censorship? Here's what I say, everybody. It's harmful to kids. When did it become our kids became, the chattel, or kids became the collateral damage, right? As AI is just dominating, and they're making trillions of dollars off not only our kids' backs, our backs. And remember one thing I like to remind everybody, big tech, Mark Zuckerberg, Sam, they don't allow their kids to even be online. They don't allow their kids to use social media. Now that should just tell you something right there. But it's good enough for our kids? I don't think so. And I think you'll agree with me on that one. So for now, we're in a holding pattern. 9 days now, we'll have to see what happens, what that markup may be. Again, rushing it into the holiday season. Right now, we held off this National Defense Authorization Act. And I remind everybody, again, bipartisan. It's about the safety of kids. And that was what was beautiful yesterday. Both sides, Congress members, talking about this, being on the same page for safety. And we're going to finish up with a great big shout out to the Warrior parents who showed up the night before, Monday night, and held vigils. We call them survivor parents. Held vigils, sat in the room, behind those testifying to remind the members of Congress they are there, they are loud. Also, we had projections onto different buildings about AI, so cars going by could see. We're not being silent, but we have to give the credit to the parents. The work we do at the Warriors is really for all of those survivors, whether it's human trafficking, sexual exploitation, survivor parents whose kids have been harmed, the ultimate harm, unimaginable on the internet. And then on top of it, there's no accountability. Can you imagine? And again, the administration, I don't like to say it, but we're all about truth and reality at the Warriors. They are tech bro heavy. So I ask you, I like to give you homework here in the Warriors. I will keep you updated on what's going on with this. Again, full force into meetings starting tomorrow, urging representatives. I'm working with Louisiana tomorrow. And I have a New York rep. Just reminding them, urging them, why we need KOSA. Back to its original version. But what I need for you to do, and I tell you this all the time, it just takes less than 5 minutes to help us. House.gov, Senate.gov. Find out who represents you. Drop them one line. Please support Kids Online Safety Act. And make sure you put a date, like December 2025, because there's been different versions, right? But actually you should say, please support, I'll put it in the body of this video, please support December 2025, Please support Senate version of the Kids Online Safety Act. Everybody will know what that means. And with that, please honor our hashtag Community Creates Change. A shout out to Warrior Amy, who has sent us a slew of goodies for our vulnerable kids. We're putting together 2 giveaways this holiday season, a third one just with books. So we're waiting for that delivery. We have other toiletries and things people are so graciously donating. Don't be shy with us. Let me know if you have something we can use, because we go into the communities and we provide, hope. To see the smiles on a face for a child got a new hat and gloves, and one toy is more than any dollar amount, anything puts it all in perspective. So remember, we fight in Washington for you. That's the heavy lifting. But the real work is in the community, is in changing that one person, that one kid, that one family, that giving them information, giving them some food. Everybody should have a holiday with dignity. Every child deserves a toy. So I ask you, whether through the Warriors or through your own community, do a little something. It doesn't have to cost even money. It's about sharing information even. It's about going to the dollar store and buying a pair of socks for somebody. I kid you not. The need is real. The need is there. Don't be fooled. Honor our hashtag Community Creates Change. Thank you. Thank you for sticking with me. I'm going to full force into 2026, building out the Warriors. We just revamped the website. Still got a few tweaks on that one, but take a look at that, lynswarriors.org. Getting out there more into media. I like to say television, but I guess who knows what you call it today. We'll call it media streaming. I don't know. I shouldn't say I don't know. I should say television, traditional television streaming. You'll be seeing my face more. And always, always, always talk to your kids open and honestly. Put down those devices. If it's 10, 15 minutes here and there, start doing it. Delay is the way. Let us have a thankful holiday season. Let us all be joyful for something, and let us all share that sentiment with others, because a lot of mental health problems, a lot of people fall sad, during the holidays, or they're alone. Be inclusive. Invite somebody over. Drop off a gift at their doorstep. There's all kinds of little things you can do. Give somebody a phone call, not just an email or a text, an actual phone call. When I call people, they'll be like, wow, you're calling me. They get so surprised. Just make it 31 days of, we're already into day 3. So you can do a couple today to make up if you didn't start one thing a day. I like to say holding a door for somebody, smiling at somebody, whatever that may be. Just do it. You'll feel better about yourself. And that, I believe, will snowball throughout society, and we'll start cleaning a lot of things up. Thank you for listening. I'll be back with a live. I hope to do that tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. And be on the lookout for, I did a wonderful Warrior Wednesday every Wednesday on WABC Radio with my saint of a husband, The Other Side of Midnight with Lionel, where I focus on what's going on that week, usually in Washington on the federal level. And take a listen. That is posted on our X and our Facebook. Remember, everything's Lynn's Warriors. And just join us and share, and let us be the leaders, and let us be the ones who tell our kids what's going on. Let's not let the predators, the strangers online, win. Join me. We can do it. And remember, when you wake up each and every day, go out and be a warrior.